Well, good afternoon to you and welcome to a sunlit Everest Cricket Ground, just about a minute away from the Atlantic Ocean in the distance. And we've got the news here that DCC have won the toss and they decided to bat. They're playing in the finals of the GCA New York Tri-State Under 19 Cricket League, and they're playing against the sponsors. So good morning, good afternoon to you, Clyde Butts. The game, I must say, starting late because of a damp spot on the middle of the pitch, which was really no fault of the Everest ground. They were notified very late and they did their best. So a late start. They should have started at 9:30 and it's now reduced to 32 overs per side.
Good afternoon to you, Sean, and good afternoon to listeners wherever you are. Certainly. No fault of the Everest Cricket Club or the executives of Everest or even the groundsmen. I think they have done a wonderful job, actually. When we came this morning, the middle of the pitch was actually very, very wet. I think that has dried out nicely, and maybe we're in for a good afternoon of cricket, our cricket match here at the Everest Cricket Ground.
So yes, as we said, the ground blessed with glorious sunshine. Well, yesterday they had pouring rain, and I saw on the weather forecast that today and tomorrow there will be bright sunshine and nice looking ground. They had the heavy roll on it, and the rain yesterday really put some green on what was a otherwise parched and brown outfield.
Definitely so. Guyana actually played here last week. I'll tell you, it was brown all over. When you look at it now, it's totally different to what it was last week. We had a little bit of show before last evening as well, so that has helped the ground, and it actually looks very nice. It looks a lovely venue to play cricket.
So here's the first delivery, and inside edge down towards the fine leg boundary. Would it have enough to get there to the boundary? Yes, it does. So he's off the mark with a fortuitous 4 inside edge and 4 without loss.
Yeah, delivery pitched up outside off stump, didn't bounce actually. The batsman was nowhere near to it, was looking to hit it probably somewhere in the cover region, got the inside edge, beat the wicketkeeper, and the outfield still lightning fast, of course, because of all the dry weather that we have had here, and that went for 4 runs.
Plus this morning there was a heavy roller which you used to roll the roads, and it was on the ground and rolling the ground, also used on the pitch.
Well, I was talking to a few people this morning. The roller looks big, but it's not that heavy actually.
Nice shot, finds the gap out towards the extra cover boundary. It's gonna be pulled back just inside. No, it's not. Consecutive boundaries, contrasting boundaries, Clyde. One the inside edge, and that was a better shot, punched off the back for 2 extra cover for 4.
Well, actually, that was a good looking shot. That was a ball that wasn't that short. He didn't try and hit it hard. He more or less just timed it and through the covers, and he got 4 runs for it. Good looking shot. And I was just talking about the outfield. Again, you see how quick it is.
So a lovely shot there from Campbell. He's gone now to 8. It's 8 without loss. We're still in over number 1. Kangaroo bowls on the line of the leg stump. No ball called, and that's flicked away. Races across the outfield and prevented from going into that little puddle of water there because of the ground being dug up. And the good initiative by the whoever to put a net there, and it's 4. So 3 4s in the over, 12 without loss.
And a no ball to go with it as well. That was actually a very good shot because he waited on it and timed it to perfection on the leg side. That's a lovely cricket shot.
So he's been consistent in this tournament. Ajit Kangaroo on his way, short run bowls, and that's a loose shot outside the line of the off stump, and no.
But it was a free hit, so you could understand. He was trying to hit it as hard as possible.
Trying to hit the free hit as far and hard as possible, and many times at this level the batsmen miss the shot or mistime it.
Yeah, I think it's something that they've got to work on, and I guess as they get older, they will start to understand what it is all about to make sure that you get a bat on those deliveries.
2 slips, third man, backward point, cover, extra cover on the mid-off. And the offside. That's a much better shot. Again, a little bit more movement of the left foot across. Got closer to the ball and stroked it out towards cover. Wilson looks good though.
He's timing the ball nicely. And the ball is not really any sort of a pace. It's just a gentle medium pace. Bowling just on or about the off stump. And this is a very, very brown Everest pitch. There's no grass or whatever.
Yeah, straw-colored track. Looks like a batting paradise. It's a ball that's back and across, played back towards the bowler by Campbell. Campbell and Jaikaran opening their batting. And 1 delivery left. The wicketkeeper maybe forgot there was a no ball bowled. And when we look skywards, we feel some sprinkles coming into the commentary box.
Are you calling for rain, Sean?
No, I'm feeling the sprinkles.
Just wondering.
Kangaroo bowls, and that's again nicely played between the extra cover and cover, and that's gonna race away. Pull back just inside the cover boundary, and the batsman jog trot for 2. So the total going up now to 15 without loss. An expensive first over there from Kangaroo. Good batting there from Campbell.
Yeah, I think DCC would be happy with the sort of start that they've gotten in that over. They didn't try and play too many big shots. It's more or less timing the ball on the outfield. The outfield is quick as well. And you look at the pitch in that first over, yes, the fast bowler would not have had any sort of great pace, but there was no bounce or pace in the pitch, whatever. So I guess timing would be a little difficult, but the batsman in that first over had no problem with timing the balls, because he waited for them nicely and then stroked them. He didn't try to hit too hard on only the no ball, the free hit. He tried to hit hard and didn't hit it at all. But apart from that, he has played well. He has looked good.
So the left-handed Jaikaran will be in strike for the second over, bowled by Parwal. He got a 5-wicket haul, I think in the semi-finals. Yes, in the semi-finals against Maltinos. And Wilson got a 9-wicket haul in the semi-finals against Transport Sports Club, who bowled out for 58. That's a nice shot on the front foot and strokes it out towards cover. So we started in glorious sunshine, and it's become a little overcast. Dark clouds hovering over the Everest Sward, a ground which hosted 6 first-class matches. The first was in 1997 when Guyana played England B. I remember doing commentary in that match. Here's a ball. That's an inside edge, dangerously close to the leg stump. And on this lightning fast outfield, it will go down to the boundary. So an inside edge, barely going past the leg stump, agonizingly close to the leg stump, Clyde, and he's off the mark inauspiciously with a boundary.
Well, I think that shows again how slow the pitch is. I think he was beaten for the lack of pace. Got the inside edge and it went very close to the stumps. Probably lucky it didn't cannon into his stumps, but certainly the lack of pace on this pitch is evident.
So both batsmen starting with inside edges for 4. And Campbell played some delightful shots after that. Let's see what the left-handed Jaikaran will do. Just a solitary slip. That's a good ball, well played. On the line of the off-stump, stroked out towards cover. Jaikaran, a taller man than Campbell, so when he stretches onto the front foot, he covers more ground. The Atlantic Ocean away in the distance. Cool breeze blowing across with some little drizzles in the air. But the weather forecast said today would be sunny. Full toss, and didn't put it away. And no ball, another no ball. No, he's calling for the covers. I thought he was signaling no ball. So the covers are going to be coming on after 1.4 overs, with the total on 19 without loss.
I think the umpire might have just been a little too hasty there with calling on the covers. Yes, we've got a little bit of a drizzle, but
it's a strong wind.
But a very strong wind going by, and I think you want to see cricket play. As soon as you get a little drizzle, we're running off for rain. So they're back on.
Yeah, so they're back on. Of course, 7 List A games were also played on this ground. The last first-class match was played here in 2009. So since 2009, there's been no first-class cricket here. And with the advent of the National Stadium, no first-class cricket even at Border or Albion. Here is a good delivery, just left the left-hander, and luckily for him, he didn't get the edge.
Well, I think he might have gotten the edge, but it didn't carry to the wicket-keeper. It's dropped way in front of the wicket-keeper. Again, it shows how slow this pitch is.
Yes, and it's evident that this side is slower than the other side because the wet spot is more towards the southern end. Good short delivery, again slow but bounced, and the covering up plays it out towards mid-off, and the over is completed. So 2 overs completed, and at the end of 2 overs it's 19 without loss.
Yeah, that was a fairly decent over, apart from the first delivery which got an edge and went down to the boundary for 4. No other run came off of it. Bowled in good areas, and I think the last couple of deliveries he bowled, obviously realizing that little wet spot, as closer to this end, he hit the balls in those spots and they just stood up a little. And they actually bounced higher than anything as we saw of the 2 overs so far in this game.
Usually when you bowl at this ground, you get the ball to bounce more when the tide is in. That happened also at Blairmont and at Iflock.
Is that so?
Well, it happened to me.
Okay. Well, I've played here for about 13 years straight, and I never really realized it. So
ball that's on the line of the leg stump, and nice shot again by Campbell, finds the gap between mid-on and mid-wicket, and they will come back for 2. So Campbell goes now to 16, and the total going up to 21 for the loss of no wicket. Clyde Butts.
I wonder why. Why is it that we see a lot of fast bowlers these days tend to bowl with 7-2 fields? I think it's virtually an impossibility to do well unless you're going to bowl wide outside the off stump. And if you haven't got the pace
plus
as well.
There's no fine leg, so anything down the leg side, it's a free boundary. Oh, yeah! And that's outside the line of the leg stump. Allow the peel, more from the New York Tri-State supporters who's in the commentary box. And that was definitely going down the leg side, Clyde.
Well, we know why he's not an umpire. That would have been out for him, for sure. The way he appealed there, that was clearly going down the leg side.
So Kangura, that's a psychological boast for him. In he comes from the southern end of the ground, the commentary box end. And that's a loose shot. Didn't get to the pitch of the ball, didn't go across, but hit it in the middle of the bat, and it went out towards cover. Chris Gale doesn't move his feet in the orthodox manner, but he just stands and delivers and hits the middle of the bat, and that's what the most important thing, Clyde.
That's power, though.
So the sun raging an intense battle with the clouds overhead. Lots of blue in the sky, white cotton wool clouds floating lazily over the Everest ground. This one is pitched up and driven out towards cover, and there is no run. Clyde Butts, you were one of the players for Everest. In 1985, were you playing at Everest when you made your test debut?
Yes. I've played at Everest from 17.
So you're a
Nine.
bona fide test cricketer from Everest, not
Yes.
like Leonard Bacon, who
Yes.
they claim
Yes, I am.
was one of their players who played test cricket out of Kanji.
But at the meantime, he still used to play for Everest at the time, though.
Here's a ball that's pitched up. Good slow delivery. Strong breeze. Blowing the bowler's cap out of the hands of the umpire.
I think the thing with Len Bacon is that he did not grow up at Everest. And when I say that, I mean he started playing for Everest late in his career.
So then Martinos could claim Clayton Lambert.
Well, a lot of people could claim a lot of things. Guyana could claim me as well.
I know GCC claims Alvin Kalitaran on their board as one of their test players. This is a good delivery. Again, just slanting towards the leg stump and clipped into the onside. A nice tight over there, bowled by Kangura. His second over is completed, and at the end of it, the total is 21 without loss. So that was in fact a maiden over.
Yeah, and again, I think is the lack of pace on the pitch causing the batsman not really to time the ball as they would have liked. And I think the batsman as well need to move his feet a little bit more, try and get closer to the pitch of the deliveries. He's more or less standing there and driving with his feet together. And a lot of times you talk about cricket, and a lot of people say that a lot of batsmen, even in the old days, never used to use their feet a lot. But the thing is where they hit the ball. They hit the ball from actually under their eyes. They don't reach for the deliveries.
So Parwal bowls, and that's back of a length and played into the offside. So 21 for no loss. We're in the fourth over. And John Ramsingh was just telling me that they claim Chandrapal as their test player. Chandrapal moved here, I think, 2 years ago and joined his son.
Well, I think a lot of places would be claiming Chandrapal. Unity would claim him for sure.
Good delivery. Came back into the left-handed Jai Karan, the taller of the two.
DCC would claim him as well. He played for DCC.
Yes,
and
I
then
remember
GCC would
playing
claim him.
against Chandrapal at the under-19 level at DCC. He was about 9. And he came out and batted about 9 overs. And I was feeling at mid-off. And I told him that Colin Court likes to bowl and see blood. And I'm allergic to blood. Here's a ball that's top edge, high into the air, slip coming around, and takes the catch. So the breakthrough is made in the fourth over, and at the breakthrough, it's 21 for 1.
Well, he was in no position really to play that shot on a pitch that is very slow. Delivery with a pitch where the wet spot would have been, it just held up a little. He wasn't going forward or back. He was in no man's land, looking to probably hit it behind square or somewhere in that direction. Got the top edge and went very high into the air. And one would have thought that would have been a keeper catch with the gloves. But the first slip fielder said it's mine. Obviously, he's a safe catcher. And he took a very easy catch.
So in the fifth over, the fourth over, in fact, yes, I was right first time. 21 for 1 as Jai Karan goes. Caught at first slip, Skyer, and Parval, who had a 5-wicket haul in the semi-finals against Martinos, picks up the first wicket. 4 to Jai Karan, he goes. And in the fourth over, it's 21 for 1.
And the thing is here that DCC has actually won the toss and decided to bat. So they obviously can't blame anybody if there's a little bit of a wet spot there or if there's still some moisture in the pitch.
Well, obviously, if you came to the ground and early, like most of us did, and saw that patch there, it was very wet, and there was a heavy roller on the pitch for most of the morning. And obviously there would be moisture in the pitch, and DCC winning the toss, as you said, and maybe surprisingly hecting to bat. So Wilson now comes in and gets a good ball, bang on target by Proval. out towards mid-on. This is the guy who got the 9 wickets in the semi-finals against Transport Sports Club. Sean Messiah will be dismayed that Transport were bowled out for 59 because of his spell. 5 for 19 from 9 overs. Excellent spell. He's now with the bat. Gets a good ball outside the line of the off stump, but not close enough to challenge the off stump, and he plays no shot. As the sun returns, Clyde, but that's a promising sight.
It is. I think you know when we talk about cricket and adjusting to pitches and so on, and we just talk about Transport being bowled out for 58, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. And sometimes with young people, it's not easy for them to adjust when they get on pitches that are slightly slow or pitches that just have a little bit of a hold up. And maybe that's what happened to Transport on that occasion. But I'm very disappointed that they only made 58 because I think they are a better team than that.
Yes, I was very surprised that the over comes to an end. So 5 overs gone, 4 overs gone. That's a long over because the batsman was dismissed in it. At the end of 4 overs, the total now 21. So 2 maidens, 1 maiden. That was a maiden, so 21 for 1.
I think DCC here will just have to try and regroup. What they've got to do is try and make sure they bat, weather the early storm, and then to start moving a pace. Of course, DCC, we've got to be careful as well because DCC have actually lost some 6 players for this final. So
yes,
you know,
they're going to play in the Demerara Cricket Board.
Inter-association cricket.
For
so
Georgia
they've been
and
slightly
Wales.
Depleted as well. To lose 6 players.
And they've lost their main opening batsman, Buki, and their fastest bowler in Thornton.
Yeah, so you know you've got to give them credit to actually be able to still put out a team to compete in the finals.
First delivery is played into the offside. Well, they've lost Buki, Thornton, Bamfield, Beaton, Mutu, and Passad.
And Ned and Sachin, and Sachin not here as well.
Players. Yeah, not Ashmi Ned and Sachin Singh. So this is a third string team.
So we'll have to see how they perform. It's not going to be easy for them because the touring team has played some good cricket as well. DCC played them earlier and beat them.
Yeah.
And
that's the only game the Americans lost. In 5 games, DCC unbeaten, loose shot. No movement of the left foot across, just switched the bat at it, and it went by to be taken by the keeper. So DCC beating QC, MYO, GYO, DCC. They beat
Rubis.
the US and Rubis Ogle. And of course, the one loss by the New York Tri-State was the DCC. They've lost 1 match. It's flicked away into the onside, and that's going to run away quickly down to the boundary for 4. Once the ball gets past the infield, you can as well give up the chase and save your legs. It's always going to reach the boundary in a hurry. So that's a 4 to Wilson. And he's played some good shots so far, and the total going up now to 25 for 1. We're in the 5th over.
Yeah, well, I think what Wilson did there is wait on the ball to pitch up outside leg stump. And then he didn't try to hit it too hard. He more or less just worked it nicely off the pads, and he got 4 runs. So I think it's the type of pitch that you've got to wait on the deliveries.
And as you said, Clyde, it's very hard to bowl to a field like this. Twice now we've seen Kangaroo being hit through the backward square position, more of a wide long leg. There's no backward square, there's no fine leg, and there's no square leg.
And it's a free hit now, John.
So a no ball there from Kangaroo, and you can't change the field because the batsman hadn't crossed. So Wilson now will get a free hit, and let's see what he'll do with it. Same 2 fielders on the onside, a mid-on and a mid-wicket. And this is pounded away, but straight to the field. He tried to hit it too hard again, and found the fielder at extra cover in the way.
Well, he was actually backing away to a delivery that was outside leg stump, and there's only 2 men on the leg side, where he would have been easy to go in his wicket and try to hit it through the arm side.
Well,
with
he
only 2 men
clearly
on the leg side.
premeditated what he would have done before.
Yeah, but he could have premeditated to go over the arm side.
The bowler's hand. Kangaroo, as the sun comes out back in all its glory, and a slow delivery, and played nicely out towards the backward point position. Nice soft hands, and they got a single. So it's 27 for 1. And even though with the exodus of the established players, if you can call them that at this level, these 3 batsmen who batted the first 3 positions are all senior members of the team. Jaikaran got a half century. Campbell got a half century. And Wilson is also a top order batsman, even with Buki and all of those players there. It's the end of the 5th over. At the end of it, it's 27 for 1.
Well, they're regulars of DCC, Jaikaran and these 2 other guys. So, one could still expect DCC to put up a good showing.
So Marvin Prasad scored the most runs in the tournament.
Prashad.
287. Marvin Prashad has a Trinidadian name. Trinidadians usually are called Prasad, while Guyana are called Prasad. Mukesh Prasad was telling me that he's not Prasad, he's Prasad. Marvin Prasad had 165, the highest score in the tournament against GYO. And of course, Wilson's 9 for 19 was in the semi-finals. He's got 17 wickets, but they say that when you judge the most wickets in the tournament at the presentation, you exclude the semi-finals and final. Outside the line of the leg stump, wayward delivery, and a wide signal there by the umpire. So total going up now to 28 for 1 in the 6th over.
I think that's fair as well, because the teams do get extra games if they get to the semi-finals and finals. And maybe what they do is look at the semi-finals and finals as separate in terms of prize giving and so on. But I think the tournament was really a nice one.
Yes, it was very well organized.
I think the cricket, you had some good cricket, and we did see some bad cricket. We've got to try and be fair. We did see some bad cricket. I think when you look around, there's no doubt in my mind that DCC was easily the best team in the competition. I think after then, and most of the teams were virtually on par, with the except of the New York team, of course.
And to me, the New York team was the more organized of the teams, while GCC had the more natural talent. This is on the line of the leg stump and tucked away for a single there by Wilson.
I think what you saw in the clubs is that you saw 3 or 4 good players, and then a lot of people were being made up to build up. I think the most disappointing thing for me, though, is in terms of the feeling from the other teams. The feeling was very, very
poor. Well, we must understand that this extended drought, semi-drought in Guyana, caused the grounds to be hard and dry and sometimes rough.
But feeling is not necessarily mean ground fielding. The catching wasn't good either in terms of the out cricket and so on. And you did see some players that looked the part, but then they get themselves out, or they tend to try things when they're bowling and not being patient. I mean, at 18 and 19 years of age, you've got to show a little bit more maturity.
For a while, back of a length. Oh my dear. He was looking for a single. The non-striker was not interested at all. He was almost halfway down, had to put the brakes on and go into reverse gear. But as they say, all is well that ends well, and he's ended well.
Well, where was he going? That was never a single, because he hit it straight to the man. He hit it fairly hard as well. And the other batsman didn't respond at all, so he didn't move.
Good afternoon to you, watching, listening on the live stream in New York, in America, wherever you are. Must say congratulations to the America national team. They won the international status, I think, yesterday. So they've joined the others, I think 11 others with one-day international status.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. And to see what's going to happen, because I'm sure there's going to be a division of cricket sooner rather than later.
And most of those players will be from Asia or the West Indies. And this is my opinion, for United States cricket to really improve and make an impact on the world stage as the over comes to an end, it's 29 for 1. You have to have born Americans or Americans who go to school play cricket at school level. I think only New York schools and some schools in Miami has a school cricket program.
I don't know if I could comment because I don't know a lot about their cricket, but I know over the years the administration has had its problems. Whether it's sorted out now, I wouldn't be able to say, but one would love to see the administration of cricket. It's not only in the US. I think Canada has some of the same problems as well. If the administration of the cricket gets sorted out, I think they can be competitive, and it could be a plus for cricket around the world.
Kangaroo in his 4-over bowls, that's a pitch-up delivery. Hesitation between the two batsmen, but in the end, a loose bit of work from the field at mid-off, and worse bit of fielding from the man backing up, and the batsmen come for 2 overthrows in addition to the single that they're already taken. So 3 runs takes the score now to 32 for 1.
Well, that's bad cricket on the fielding side. The extra cover came across, didn't get hold of the ball, actually knocked it away from the mid-off coming in. The mid-off picked up and then had a shy at the stump. It was backed up, but wasn't backed up well by the man at mid-wicket, and they got 2 extra runs.
Clyde Butts, can you guess who played the first ever international match? It was in the 18...
When you said who,
Which
what do you
teams?
mean? First played international.
Which 2 countries? Kangaroo bowls a ball that's again outside the line of the leg stump. Stifled appeal, more enthusiasm than conviction.
I'm not sure if I can answer that question. If I answer, I may be wrong, but in terms of West Indies, I could actually say that what we think happened, it didn't happen. West Indies played their first international, I think was against a US team or a Canadian team, something like that, but I'm not actually sure.
Well, the first ever international match was played in 1888, I think, against between Canada and the US. So it was played in the US. So those are the oldest international teams, technically. Ball that's on the line of the off stump, stroked out towards mid-off. They get a single, good rotation in the strike. And the total going up now to 33 for 1. This has been a good little partnership so far. Some indecision between the 2 batsmen in terms of running. Kangaroo. And that ball leaves the batsman, goes off the outer half of the bat. He was intending to play it a lot straighter, and it peeled off the outer half. Of course, we're talking about test players from Everest. The latest one is Chandrapal Hemraj. No, he played one-day international, West Indian players from Everest. He played 6 one-day internationals, I think. Never played a test match yet. But Chandraka played test cricket in Australia. Didn't do too well. And Ryan Ramdas played 1 match, I think, in Sri Lanka in 2005. So those are some of the recent test players. Of course, you have Shivnarayan Chandrapal. They claim him. And hopefully there will be Tej Narayan Chandrapal. He's made 100 in Barbados, and he's the only player that is still playing not to play test cricket. The only player who was retired or dead that made 100 in Barbados and did not play test cricket was Andrew Light.
Is that so?
Yeah.
I was never aware of that. And Andrew Light was a very, very good player indeed.
But he came up in the time when he was vying for the opening spot with Richie Richardson, who eventually went to number 3.
Well, I don't know if he was vying for the opening spot with Richie Richardson because Gordon Greenwich and Desmond Haynes was opening the batting, so he was looking to knock the two of them out, and that would have been a very difficult task indeed.
So when Light made 105, Richardson would make 170. They both scored hundreds at the regional level. Those were the days when lots of hundreds were scored at the regional level. And these days you see people like Devon Smith, who is termed a regional bully, also continuing that trend, but not carrying it over to the international level. Powell starts a new over, goes a back of the length delivery, and the total is kept on 33 without loss. 34 without loss. We're in the 8th over. So a nice solid start after the early demise of Jai Karan, who whipped back of the length delivery, found the top edge, it went high into the air. That's edged away down towards the third man position, and the fielder comes across to his left to do the fielding. So 35 for 1. Paval was the bowler who made the breakthrough. It was 21 for 1 with Jai Karan going for 4. So also the West Indies 15-man provisional World Cup squad has been selected. It can be changed, but it's unlikely to be changed after the Tri-Nation series. That's a wayward delivery, almost landed on the next pitch, and it went by to be taken low down by the keeper. So a wide bowl there by Paval. Seems to be
Sean, you have to explain that for me. When you say it can be changed under what circumstances?
Well, they have up to the 23rd to submit their fixed 15-man squad. These are provisional squads, so it can be changed. And if they, after the 23rd, it can be changed also, but only due to injury.
Okay, I get it.
So most people, well, I'm not talking for anybody else, I'm talking for me. I felt that Braffett should not have been in the squad ahead of Kimo Paul. And also, my view is that Noor should not have been in the squad ahead of another spinner like Pierre from Trinidad and Tobago on the line of the off stump, played away out towards mid-off, and there's no run. With the other players, it's not a bad squad. But some people are saying that Russell would be, if the West Indies go deep into the tournament, Kimo Paul has another chance of replacing Russell, who is likely to break down. That's what some people are saying. That's a good shot. Well stopped though, out at cover, and they get a single. So the total going on now to 37 for 1.
Yeah, I think that was a very good shot indeed. Ball pitched up outside the off stump, was stroked nicely, but well fielded in the covers. Again, that's good cricket, and the batsman took a single as well. That's very good cricket.
What are your thoughts on the 15-man provisional squad?
Are you testing my selection skills? I don't really like to comment on selections.
That's outside the line of the leg stump. A loud appeal, and it hit the pad. The batsman didn't go for the single.
But I would say that I'm surprised that Kimo Paul wasn't in the squad. And I am not sure that you can afford to take so many fast bowlers to the World Cup. In terms of you've got Roach, you've got Gabriel, O'Shane Thomas, and Cottrell. That's 4 fast bowlers that they're not going to give you much in terms of batting. Yes, you've got Andrew Russell. Whether he will bowl, that's another problem. I doubt whether Andrew Russell will be doing much bowling in terms of the World Cup.
Primarily a batting all-rounder without really bowling, but he can make the team as a batsman.
Well, I'm not doubting that, but in terms of batting, if he's going to play as a batsman, then you know, you're talking about playing 3 of those fast bowlers at least,
Yeah.
which would give your batting a little bit of a problem down at the depth with probably Ashley Nurse or Allen playing, and Jason Holder. Of course, Jason Holder is capable batsman as well, so I don't think you've got problem with Jason Holder in terms of batting at 6, you know.
And
But
you've got the keeper as a batsman too, Shai Ho.
where he bats at 3 or 4,
Yeah.
or may even be used as an opener. It just depends on how low it goes as well.
So the leg spinner, Gantam Ravindran, is coming to the attack. He always bowls with a rag sticking out of his back on his trousers waist. This is down first delivery, full toss, and hit out towards long off for 1. I remember when they played at the YMCA ground, a guy from MYO, from Berbice, in fact, Sion Glasgow, hit him for 6 consecutive sixes in an over, which cost 4-1 because there were 5 wides. This is a good delivery, playing around the ball, and that's really a problem for most of the young batsmen. When the bowler flights the ball on the line of the leg stump or middle and leg stump, they play around it instead of looking to on drive. And this is dropped. That would have been a spectacular catch had he picked it up. It would have almost been a reflex catch, and it went all the way down near towards the third man boundary, pulled back by the backward point running back. But that really an individual shot looking to cut, and didn't pick up the pace of the ball, the pace of the wicket as yet, looking to cut, and that was too close to him.
Well, I think the fieldsman was much too close as well at slip, and he wasn't down. He was standing straight up. I don't think he was actually ready.
Well, this guy, Ravindran, he bowls slowly, and that was a rare cricket ball. So the fielder must have been there for the looping balls. I don't know. But yes, even with the looping balls, if the batsman cuts hard, he is very close. Here's a nice flighted delivery outside the line of the off stump. Big drive, big miss, and it goes by to be taken by the keeper.
I think what happened there is bat must have touched the ground, because there was a noise, but his bat actually hit the ground.
Gautam flights it again on the line of the off stump and gets a quick single out towards cover. So the 10th over has come to an end. At the end of it, it's 41 for the loss of 1 wicket. DCC winning the toss and batting, and after more thoughts from Clyde Butts, it's going to be
Yeah.
9 over.
The one thing we don't see these days, Sean, is batsmen using their feet. That was an over that was bowled very slowly, and yet we didn't see the batsman try and step out to try and hit him on the full. He just more or less stood his ground and tried to drive those delivery, allowing the balls to pitch instead of probably just making a step out or a couple of steps out and try and reach him on the full.
One of the batsmen I've noticed that use their feet to some extent is Avilash Buki from DCC. He uses his feet to the spinners, and not just to attack, but when he gets not to the pitch, he just stops the ball, which is good thinking. That's a wide delivery, atrocious shot though. He didn't move his foot at all, and he just went after the ball, just pushed the bat at it. Could have easily hit the edge and be caught behind. So the sun is back with all its glory, and knocking on wood, likely to be no rain for the rest of the day. So the nice seawall breeze, cars just going across the seawall road, which is now a prime, well, not now, a long time ago, prime socializing spot for the Guyanese community who live close by. A nice shot played out towards the cover, and he was cocking the arm looking to throw, but then realized that no one was backing up and just held the ball as the batsman went through for a single. So the total now going up now to 43 for 1. We're now in the 10th over. Nice cool breeze blowing across the Atlantic. Wall with big black side screen behind his back. Bowls again, loose shot. Didn't really get across, didn't drive. Played it back towards the bowler with a horizontal bat.
I have a question, Sean. Do you think that this could be made into a lovely first-class venue?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to
lot
ask.
of work
I think
is
after
being
we
done
finish,
here,
after
yeah.
we finish, John Ramsing comes into the commentary position. He is an executive of Everest, and maybe he can answer us if they have made any attempt to write the West Indies Cricket Board to say what is needed to make Everest into a first-class venue.
I see they're doing a mound.
Because I think it's well, we had a mound behind there before. Because I remember when first-class cricket here was played, and I remember when the touring Australian team come here, there were a few tents up at the side at the back there, and it was a lovely setting.
I think Dean Ryan got 100 in that game.
And Carlton Bar.
Yeah, and the ammunition bunker is a landmark. It's still there. That's part of the Everest ground.
And when I say write the West Indies Board, well, maybe through the Guyana Cricket Board to find out what it would take to make here into a first-class venue. And not only here, Albion, of course. What does Albion needs to do to become a first-class venue again?
Well, I understand they're saying that Albion just needs to spruce up their facilities. The ground.
Yeah, but I think we can say that. But what is needed? I think somebody needs to answer the question of what is needed.
And that's a direct hit. And it looks like he's gone. Yes, he's gone. No benefit of the replay. And he's run out. Most times when a direct hit comes in, the batsman is left short.
I think the only thing there in my mind was whether the umpire was in a position to actually give that decision. The umpire was backing away, the player was running down, and the player seems to be just behind him or just around that area. So, you know, that's my only question I have to ask. I think he was out, but whether the umpire was in a good position to see that, to make that decision.
Well, maybe the umpire just saw the direct hit and realized that the batsman was maybe short of his ground and gave him out. There's no benefit of the third eye, or else we'd have known for sure. We can have a replay. Yeah, we'll check that a little later if he was in fact in his crease.
I think he was actually out, but I was just questioning whether the umpire was in position to really give that decision. You know,
so
with 2 wickets gone now, DCC and just about the 10th over, DCC must be thinking, well, we've got 22 overs left to go. I don't think they can afford now to try and go hard. They need to just keep working the balls into spaces, picking up ones and twos, you know, to ensure they get a decent score. It's no point of trying to go too hard and then get themselves in trouble.
So with just a couple balls left in the 10th over. So 20 he made. It was so we have a double change as John Ramsing, the man who knows all about Everest and what's the developmental plans, and the man from Transport and he's from the GCA. He's also from Transport, who were bowled out for 58.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sean DeVere and Clyde Butts. Certainly good to have cricket here at Everest after that rain yesterday in Georgetown and most parts of Ghana. But DCC now, after that toss, I'll get your thoughts in a short while, Sean Messiah, on that toss and that decision that we're seeing now. Tri-State bowling, but they're in a good position. Good competitive cricket. We're seeing so far. The score is 45 after 10. Certainly a good position for Tri-State, I must say. Good conditions for batting. 2 wickets so far for DCC, one via run-out route. Some debate about that decision, but I think in the end the batsman short of his ground indeed. But as we say good afternoon to Sean, it's certainly good conditions now for cricket. It was a bit cloudy earlier on, and definitely yesterday it was scary. Good afternoon, Sean.
Yes, good afternoon to you, John. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you, John, and it's good to be here at the Everest ground with a beautiful sunshine, you know, and all right. The score is 45, is it? 45 for 2 in over number 11. As it, Gautam is the bowler from the bottom end, bowling to Kamal, and his flashes to the man out at point, no run. But to bring you a little update on this finals here, I forget to tell you that this is a final. We are watching the GCA AYCPL final under 19 between the Tri-State team and DCC team. DCC no doubt is feeling a young team so far because they've lost a couple of players, John.
According to Butsy and Sean, there's a third string.
Yes, I would surely say it's a third string, but we know DCC have a lot of players, and you know cricket is a game of glorious uncertainties, and we gotta wait till the end to see what will happen.
Well, that's a good overbowled of number 11. It's a maiden. So Ravindran Nan, if that's the correct pronunciation, please forgive me. Ravindran.
Yeah, we call him Gautam for short.
Gautam.
Gautam.
Yes, so Gautam
So we
sending
should
down a
mix
maiden. So after that second wicket went down, DCC pretty much looking to rebuild, and Gautam sending down a maiden, testing over. He had a full toss in that one, but the new batsman could not put it away. That's Pamal. So searching for his feet, trying to get a pitch and feel of what's happening here
As
today.
we watch the new bowler in Tameshwar Prasad in and bowls to Ezekiel Wilson. He punches us one out towards point. The fielder comes off the boundary. Return comes in and the batsman cross for 1. That takes the score on to 46 for 2 in the over number 12. I just want to shout out to the all our viewers in the America, in the USA, especially in the New York area, John.
I understand cricket is growing rapidly in that region in North America, especially in New York. I was speaking to Dave Jaggernaut, who's part of the touring party, and he said that in New Jersey, in North Carolina, and he was mentioning some other areas like Minnesota, Boston, and so on, that's dropped.
That was a shot pulled to square leg, dropped by Kangura. The batsman crosses for 1, so Pamal gets a life off of Prasad. And the score moves on by 1 to 47. 47 for 2, still in over number 12.
So after 6 dot deliveries being faced by Pamal, he's trying to get off the mark and playing that one in the air, and was dropped, given a life before he got off the mark.
And this one punches out over the man at the sweeper boundary, comes up, batsman crosses for 1. And the score moves on to 48. 48 for 2 in over number 12. This contest is a 32 overs affair. This is the final of the under 19, as we call the cricket festival in Georgetown here, between New York Tri-State and DCC.
It's the Easter Festival, a really nice concept. Good collaboration between Tri-State and of course the GCA. The youngsters at home from school during this period of time in Guyana would love to get some cricket under their belt, and certainly doing well during this holiday period. I remember my days of just flying kite, really waiting for something to happen, but now the GCA and of course the overseas chapter, in this case the Tri-State partners, they got together and they said that let's play cricket for Easter. Wonderful initiative indeed.
Yes, I must say thanks to the sponsors of the Tri-State team. They sponsor Rahul Sharma for the AYCPL. Sponsoring, coming along with GCA and sponsoring. This is for the 3rd year, and they're bound to stay for another 5 years, according to the coach Lyndon Fraser, who have founded this Tri-State team. and they went on to appoint the president in Lester Hooper, the brother of Carl Hooper. You know Carl Hooper, the son of Guyana.
The world knows Carl Hooper.
So the score so far is 48 for 2 at the end of over number 12.
But I'm impressed with the structure of the tri-state team and the way things are going in North America, especially in the U.S. I was very fortunate to be part of some of the league cricket in New York as well a few years ago. And just a few weeks ago came back from Florida, where they're also playing cricket there a lot. And because of all the cricket being played now, Sean mentioned it earlier, the USA, granted ODI status in the world, so that's really wonderful as well. And I always say that when you're down, the only place you can go from there is up. So
Yeah.
New York and the rest of America, cricket is definitely going up. Well done.
Must say congratulations to the USA. We're looking forward to see them in the ODI status.
And I know we rubbed shoulders with a few of the players in that team. We had Stephen Taylor, who was part of the Guyana Amazon Warriors. We have Ali Khan, who was part of the Guyana Amazon Warriors. And Surab Netravalka, also part of the Amazon Warriors.
Has got on bowls to Pomal. He sweeps out to square. The man running around on the boundary to his right, picks up, and the batsman cross. Come back for 2 runs. That takes the score. Is it 50? It's 50 for 2, coming up 1 run short, signal by the umpire, matter of fact. So it's 49, 50 still, 50 for 2 in over number 13. So Pomal down in short. Has a nice stiff breeze coming across the
Pomal is nervous.
Everest ground.
He's a bit
Yes,
nervous.
started shaky there. Got him in and bowls to Pomal. He's in the air, cover area, past the man to his left and going out towards the man on the sweeper boundary. The return coming. The batsman crosses for 1 and takes the score now to 51 for 2. So John, tell me, have you seen most of these games, the preliminary rounds before?
No, I just came back from Florida, where we had a cricket tour. So when I came back, the matches were pretty much wrapped up. Semi-finals were remaining, and before I got to that semi-final game, your team, Transporter, bowled out for 58.
Yeah, I must admit that was a poor performance. After the day before, they scored 220. One of the batsmen, Devon Allen, he had scored 113, and then the next day, they went for 58. But not blaming anything, I blame it on poor shot selection. Got him in and bowls to Pomal, and he's forward in defense, no run.
But that's how it goes sometimes, because exactly what we're looking at today. This could not have been possible yesterday. It was raining torrential in Georgetown. Cats and dogs and pigs and everything. You can throw the whole zoo behind it. And this was certainly not possible yesterday. But after midday, the sun came out and the Everest sward was left exposed to the breeze and to a little bit of sunshine. And after the late start this morning, because of a wet spot on the pitch, we're happy to have cricket here. The outfield has been rock hard. This outfield has been used since Women's World T20 in Guyana last November, and it's been constantly being used. And there was no rest, because since then there was no rain in Guyana, and cricket was played all the time.
So he was beaten in flight, and the ball come down to third man area for 4. So it's 4 byes signaled by umpire Lambert. That takes the score on to 56 for 2 in over number 13. I must give credit and congratulate the groundsmen. I know when you go look around, we always forget the groundsmen, and it's pretty much of a hard work for groundsmen in this area. And I must say congratulations to the Das, I think is his name right here.
Albert Das, yeah.
Good work. Because without the pitch, without the groundsmen, we can't have any proper cricket. The batsmen cannot score a century, the bowlers can't bowl properly, So congratulations to the groundsmen for their hard work, John.
Yeah, they've really done well. And when you came this morning, you look at the outfield itself, because of the grass that was floating around in the water yesterday, lodging in various parts of the outfield. That's gone as well. So the Everest sward really looking very well indeed. And it looked as if it was not affected at all by any rain.
Yes, beautiful, beautiful sunshine here today. Absolutely, you would believe that rain didn't fall yesterday, but this ground here is good for cricket. Here is Prasad in and flashing, missing by Ezekiel Wilson, taken behind by the keeper. No run. The score kept on 55 for 2 in over number 14, right? Bowles taken behind by the keeper. Is it over number 14? 14 over in progress. So DCC won the toss and elected to bat, and they're now 55 for 2. Tamashwar in about a flight to delivery, stroke out to the man on the sweeper boundary there, and the batsman cross for 1. Takes the score on to 56. 56 for 2. So
Tamish Prasad is actually
Prasad.
bowling a very good line and length, inviting the batsman, they're both right-handed, to go through the covers really, and because of that little bit of moisture in the outfield, the ball is holding up, so not getting value for shot, but it's still playing through that cover region. Tamish Prasad, who represented Guyana, I think it was Essequibo on the 15 level, some pedigree in that young man, keeping it very simple and keeping DCC in check so far.
So very good over there by Tamish Prasad, bringing the end of over number 14, and the score is 57. Is it 57? 57 for 2 at the end of over number 14. I must say shout out to the manager for the Tri-State team, Trevor Walks, the coach, Lyndon Fraser, the assistant manager, Lloyd Dixon. The general manager for the Tri-State team is Wesley King. He's way back in the USA. I want to say good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to all the parents for the youth that came down here to Guyana and are streaming live here from the beautiful ground of Everest right in Guyana. So Gautam continues and he bowls to Pomal, who stroke it on the offside. Adel Fields and no run. The score is kept on 57 for 2. And he's looking to sweep, allowed appeal for leg before he's given out. Given out there by the umpire, Pomal sweeping. Didn't look like he would have, he wasn't settled, John. He was nervous, as you said, and he went for the sweep. And he was taken on the pad. So Gautam got his first wicket. As we see the water break now will be taken in over number 15 in progress. So DCC 57 for 3.
58 for 3 over
58
number
for 3,
15.
correct.
Well, that we could have seen that coming really. Permal did not look settled at all, and that was a full delivery, and he missed it, looking for the sweep shot. Good bowling from Gautam, who bowled a maiden to Permal when he made his way to the middle, and since then Permal trying his utmost to get some runs and get the momentum really, could not have gotten anything really. He got 4 runs. Good effort, you must say, because you can recognize that he had a nervous start. He was trying to get the ball away and eventually perished looking to go for the sweep shot, missing it altogether. A full delivery, and the umpire giving him the marching orders. 3 wickets down now, over number 15 in progress. DCC now winning the toss and batting. They need to reassess. At the start of their innings, they perhaps are looking for maybe a 150 plus. And if they can continue along the same scoring run rate that they're at now, they can get there. But with 3 wickets down, maybe the better batsmen in the pavilion, we know that they're missing some of their stars.
Key players,
some of their key players. And what they need to do now is just reassess their position and still continue to be positive. Because despite Permal just made 4, they had some extras in that partnership. And with Wilson at the other end stroking it decently well, they will look to now give Wilson a partner that he can trust to bat deep into the innings to give this a competitive total. So far, Tri-State bowling within themselves, using the conditions nicely, stump to stump, and asking the batsmen to make the decision to play their bad shots. And so far, it has been building pressure and causing some wickets. So it's a good competitive session so far in this final, and this is what you want in a final. The weather's perfect, teams are equal, and they're looking to get on with things. And their umpiring so far has been spot on.
Yes, John, I think 150 would be more than good, but even 130, I would think it could be a good match for both sides, because with the tide coming in maybe later down in the afternoon, you never know what's going to happen here at Everest. And the Tri-State looking to chase 130, 140. You never know, because DCC can spring some surprises, you know what I mean? We just had, the before yesterday, Ezekiel took 9 wickets in the semi-final with his off spin. and you never know what can happen. But Tri-State, nevertheless, they have some song batting as well in Sai and the captain Stanley, Sanjay, you know, and Easy and the rest. They're capable enough of chasing totals. We saw when they play Maltinos in the semi-finals, they had to chase 133, and they took a pretty much of a lot of overs to get that. You know, I think it was 4 or so overs remaining in that semi-final, but nevertheless they get it over, and I think it was about 4 or 5 wickets went down. So it's a good game on hand. I know DCC is a never die team. They go all the way, and we'll wait and see what will happen at the end of this match. And I know it will be excited.
At the end of this match, the GCA, they'll have a presentation as well, some individual prizes. What are some of those awards to be given out?
Yes, they'll have the presentation for the batsman with the highest score, the batsman with the most runs, the best bowling performance, the bowler with the most wickets, you know, the MVP for Zone A, the MVP for Zone B, and then we'll have prizes for this final itself with the man in match, the best fielder, you know, the fielder with the most catches or stumping and runouts, you know. Those are some of the prizes. Some, I would say, some 11 awards for the players from the preliminary rounds to the finals. That will be happening this afternoon, right after this match.
A really good initiative. The youngsters in this tournament will really want to take away something to remember a good tournament.
Yes, has got in and bowls to the left-handed. Is it Inderjeet? Nanan, and he stroke it nicely out towards cover. Sipasat picks up, the return comes in, and they crosses for 1 and takes the score now to 59. 59 for 3 in over number 15 still in progress. 59, right? 59? 59. Got in and bowls to Ezekiel, and he's on the back foot and punch it out towards cover looking for a run. No, Adele picks up, cocks the arm, threatens to throw. The batsman didn't go for any run. That brings up the end of 15 overs. So Tri-State bowling pretty well here. DCC batting 59 for 3. John.
Ezekiel will not take that single. He has been there and assessing the situation nicely. He wants the bat very long. And Nanan playing the first delivery, he got quite competently and got off the mark. So I think this is going to be a very key partnership for DCC. Depends on how well they go. We will know how well DCC will go overall. And also Tri-State will need to look at this partnership very closely. This can be the partnership that will make a difference. And if Tri-State begin to chase letter from this moment on, they can actually be coming second in this tournament.
Yes, John, some 17 overs remaining in the innings for DCC. And Nanan is a very capable batsman, but he's been in and out of the team more or less. So it's going to be Tamish Prasad, is it? In and bowls to Nanan, and he's forward and stroke it back up the pitch for the bowler to field. And there is no run. Score there. Score is kept on 59 as Prasad is driving out towards the long off, mid-off area. Gets an easy single as Powell runs round to his right to field and brings Ezekiel now into strike. The score moves on to 60. 60 for 3 at the start of over number 18. Prasad and taken behind by the keeper, no run. So John, could you see this being, I mean, this is the first time we're streaming live a local cricket. Could you see this going further?
Just like every other thing, once you're starting at the bottom, the only way you can go is up. And I think the start today that we're having in terms of local streaming is encouraging. And we will definitely maintain it and take it right up.
Yes, I must say things are moving up in terms of cricket in Guyana, whereby we had on the age level playing on the lights. Now we are doing streaming live, so bit by bit we're moving. So that was a good ball there by Prasad, and brings the end of the over. The score is 60. 60 for 3 at the end of over number 18. 16, sorry. End of over number 16.
So Tamish Prasad bowling a very good line of length, mixing it up. bowling over the wicket, then he went round the wicket. And Nanan, who looked competent at the start of the over as well. So this is a good competitive passage of play. But Prasad is giving the ball some generous flight, getting some amount of turn as well from the track, and proving to be a handful so far in his overs.
So Ezekiel, non-strikers end, he's on 22. And Nanan is going to face Gotham, beat around the wicket, and Bose is driving back to the bowler, no run. He's between the umpire and the stumps operating. So I see the captain, Sanjay, have a little word there with his bowler. As Nanan settles, awaits Gotham in and bowls. A flighted one is forward in defense, no run. Tight bowling here so far by Gotham. He reminds me something slightly in my mind, you know, his bowling action kind of looked like a Kumbli style. And goes. And beaten outside the off stump again is Nanan, taken behind by wicketkeeper side. Kept the score on 60.
What Nanan needs to do is to play the ball on its merit. He was actually premeditating some shots in this over so far. So he can actually play the ball on its merit.
In the air, over the head of cover, out towards Sipasat, sweeping on the boundary. They're gone for one, and only one there will be. And the return comes in, and the score moves to 61. A bit of overthrow, but backed up in the on-field. So Nanan going over the head of Bansar in the cover, and getting a single, and takes the score on to 61.
Yes.
61 for 3 in over number 17.
Some width there from Gotham, and Nanan reaching and going over the infield and got a single.
So it's Ezekiel slapping this one straight out to the man at long off, getting a single. And takes the score to 62 in over number 17. Nice breeze coming across this ground, John. Nice view at the back there. Nice sea, the Atlantic Sea there is at the back. And the Gotham in and Bosun Nanan is driving officially. Man at mid-off comes wrong. Mid-on comes wrong, picks up. And the end of over number 17. DCC is 62. 63 for 3. I gotta tell this.
Good gripping cricket. Good gripping cricket. DCC lost 3, but they're certainly fighting and keeping things going. Keep the scoreboard ticking over. Not too bad at all. That should read 63 on the scoreboard. Nice shot from our cameraman, working for their money today and ensuring that every penny is going to be hard earned. But like you mentioned in the previous over, a good few high commentary box here at Everest, looking out into the Atlantic. It's a busy part as well of the country. It's part of the city, so lots of traffic on the highway just behind us. So it's really a nice view here at Everest.
Prasad in and Boston, and he sweeping and allow the people leg before he's giving out LBW. Second batsman for going across the line. Inderjeet Nanan sweeping and missing, taking on the pads of Prasad strikes. So the 4th wicket goes down here for DCC in the 18th over, and the score is now 63 for 4. John, what shot is that?
Shot in the dark, trying to go through the onside, hitting across the line to a ball that was he should have been better playing on the offside, maybe looking to punch it down the ground or so, but he decided to go across the line and was hitting the pad. Umpire think it would have been going on to hit the stump, so he was given his marching orders, but I think might have been doing a little bit too much in my estimation. Might have been turning away from the off stump, but it's a close one. Umpire felt because it was a bit quicker as well, might have gone on maybe to hit the off stump. But what it means in the context of the game is that DCC, they have lost their 4th wicket with just 63 on the board, and also in over number 18, 19, 18. So over number 18 in progress, and if they do not watch themselves, DCC, they can be bowled out. So they need to be very mindful that the Tri-State will be coming hard at them, looking to pick up wickets and looking to bowl them out quite early. So it's a good wicket once again for Tri-State to get, but DCC just need to consolidate. Ezekiel has been there for quite some time. He should be taking most of the responsibility now with that, most of the strike. Look at the shepherd, the middle and lower order batsmen, and look to get DCC past that 130 mark.
Yeah, so the incoming batsman is the young Orlando Giddens. Is it? Orlando Giddens, a young, exciting batsman. Here's Passadi in and Bose. And Giddens is getting in line and trying to turn this. Was given out like before. Went back to turn this one to the leg side. The umpire took some time and then raised the dreaded finger. So Orlando Giddens has to go back without scoring. And Passad is on a high. Tri-State is on a high. And the score 63 for 5.
This is not a pitch to be playing on the back foot. And the new batsman, first delivery was a good one. And he went back looking for the shot. Took it to turn it into the onside. Missed it altogether. Taken on the back pad. And was sent on his way. So hat-trick ball coming up from Passad. A good over so far. 2 wickets in 2 balls.
Yes, and he's on a hat trick and he has 3 deliveries left. You know, and
But for the hat-trick, he just did one, the first one.
so I
The
think
new batsman.
the new batsman is Osafa Green. Looks like it looks like Osafa Green. He can hit the ball a long way at times. It looks like Osafa Green, is it? Osafa Green is a new batsman. So let's watch and see the field setting here for this hat-trick delivery that is coming up.
I'm not sure Tri-State realized that Passad is on a hat-trick. He's not going to put any pressure at all on the new batsman.
Yes, you would have gotten a slip there.
A slip, a
least.
mad bit, maybe a little bit closer
Let's see,
in
but
cover.
Adil is getting a short third man. Sanjay is moving the man out at deep mid wicket, is it? Yes, he's pushing the man. Probably knows the fella. He knows the youngster likes to hit, so he's pushing out the guy right away. And he's going to bring C. Prasad around to the cover area, and Sanjay is going to take the extra cover. So let's watch this ball from Tamish Prasad in and balls to Safa Green. And he's beaten him. Is it getting an inside edge? Is it going down to short fine leg area? And the bats wait for the signal for the umpire. He's a bye, so it took him on the pad. So it was no doubt might be missing leg.
That ball was too good for even the wicket keeper. The ball beat the wicket keeper, and they got a bye. I'm not sure as well if when the batsman was looking to play the shot, if he was out of his crease,
So 64.
maybe could have been a missed as well.
Is it 64 for 6? 64 for 5 as Ezekiel, the captain. He's out there battling. He's on 23 as he waits Prasad in and bowls to getting a ball angling down the leg side and he stroke it out to the mid-wicket area. No run, the end of the over. The score is 64 for 5.
So Wilson now he needs to make a decision at this point in time whether he should go for some shots or consolidate to bat out the full 32. It's going to be one of those decisions that you do not really want to make, but as the captain and the set batsman, he should try to bat as deep as possible while not trying to only safeguard his wicket, but also trying to score runs. Once the batsman can pick the gaps, it would mean now that the Tri-State side will be forced to make some adjustments, and with that we can see some runs coming for DCC. So far that's not the case. It's all Tri-State. Good bowling, good support in the field as well.
So got him in and bowls to Osaf and he slapped this one straight out to Adil. Looking for a run, it could be a run out, is he? Is he? Not out, says the umpire. So Osafa slides in there in the last minute. So good return there coming in from Adel in the cover area. Sends Osafa scampering back.
But the wicketkeeper was not that excited. He took off the bails and appealed because, maybe what we say, looking to catch the umpire napping. But umpire Lambert was not going to be caught on that occasion, and the batsman survives.
In and got beats Osafa Green in flight. So good bowling here by Gotham. And the score is 64 for 5. So Gotham is in his 5th over or 6th? His 6th over in a flighted one and he's driving back down the ground. So good bowling here so far, drawn by Gotham. Good bowling, using the wind and everything, flighting, getting the ball to drift. Bowls to Safan. He's in the air. Somebody will take the catch. Who would take it? Is Sanjay? He dropped the catch. He didn't look like he didn't look like where the ball was going, who it was going to. So that was dropped there by Captain Sanjay.
The ball was hit in the air. It's a loose shot, and the ball went pretty much into the area where the captain should have just taken a few steps in, but he perhaps lost sight of it.
I think so. I think
thought
he
it was going
over his head.
hit.
You know, so they got a single in the end, and the score moves to 66 for 5. And bring Ezekiel's driving hard back to the bowler, no run, and the score is kept on 65 for 5.
That was a simple catch for the captain. He just had to make a few steps in,
Yeah.
but he lost sight of it and thought that the other fielder should have taken it.
So Wilson is beaten again, looking to go across the line, but that one was outside the off stump. Brings up the end of over number 19, and the score is 65 for 5, John.
Good over once again for Tri-State. And they could have got another wicket and could have gone way deep into the DCC batting, but that catch was floored by the captain. These things happen in cricket, and you can only learn from your mistakes. One would hope that Tri-State will learn from that. Also, for that DCC, the young batsmen will learn not to try to hit against the spin, and if you're hit along the ground, you know, the coaches will always tell you that you cannot be out caught if you hit on the ground. And if you're going to go for a big shot, make sure it's out of the ground.
Out of the ground, that's so true, John.
Right, so some errors that I think that the young players can work with and only improve their game.
Passad in and both. So Safa Green is driving out to the man at mid-off. Bansar comes and picks up a return, hits the stumps, but he made his ground, so they get a quick single there. In the end, the score is 66 for 5. And John, let me bring you up a little up to date. In the preliminary rounds, we had a couple of batsmen score some centuries. Out of my head, I know Marvan Passad, he's the highest score, 165. Jeremiah Benjamin from GNIC had 113. We had Devon Allen from Transport, 113. You know, and I think Zainul Ramsami from MYO, 130. And those are some of the, and Alfia's Bookie 110 from DCC, had 110, and allowed the people like before. Now says the umpire. Garfield Benjamin, matter of fact, from GNIC, 113. So a couple of guys scoring century from this competition.
That's more than a couple. That's a really good amount. That's a handful, and I'm really impressed with these scores. And if young batsmen can score hundreds at that level, at that age group level, we hope that they can transform that into senior cricket, and will only be good for cricket overall.
Yes, and then with the ball we had a couple of 5 wickets as well, and you know we had Antini Pamal taking 7 wickets. He's from Maltinos. You had the spinner Akeem Clark taking a 6 wicket. You had young Riyad Latif taking 5, and Dwayne Dick taking a 5 wicket haul. You had Marlon Boley another 5 wicket. So there's a lot of wickets with, you know.
And don't forget that 9 wicket haul against Transport.
And Ezekiel 9 in the semi-final. You can't forget that was the highest. That's a bit of history there.
Did you save that for last, or are you trying to forget it?
No. I won't do that. You got to give him credit for that. And he's flicking in the air. He's going to be caught the ball. Yes. So Ezekiel goes, looking to flick through the mid-wicket area. Taken by Passad. So DCC in for the trouble at 68 for 6. John.
Yes, another one bites the dust. The captain going back after a long time at the crease, but the pace of the wicket, the track we want to call it, getting that wicket basically. That ball was pitched up, and he was looking to go through the onside much too early in the shot, and the ball took the leading edge and went back to the bowler at good height and a good pace as well. He just ran in and a bit to his left and took it quite comfortably. So Passad as well, bowling very well in tandem with Gotham, and that bowling partnership has certainly done well for Tri-State, picking up wickets and keeping things very quiet for DCC. And now with the captain going back to the pavilion, top score so far, no doubt. Ezekiel Wilson will confirm his final score in a moment, but 22. And he has done fairly well for his team. Wickets were tumbling all around him, and he tried to consolidate, but it was a bit too much for him trying to go for shots and trying to consolidate as well. But the low order now for DCC, they need to batter with the rest of the overs, and if they're going to put up any score of respectability, they must begin to get the ball away, be sensible, running ones and twos. The boundaries will not come so easy, but what it can do, pick up the ones and twos, 3-4 runs per over, and you'll never know where it can take you.
Yeah, no doubt. I think Coach Ned would that's the advice he would give to the young batters to rotate and try to bat out the remaining overs. But it's got him in and bows to Osafan is beaten outside the off stump, taken behind by the keeper. No run, and Osafa still looking to go hard. But in Ezekiel out, and I think Prasad was a beautiful delivery. The ball was like held back, and he was beaten in the flight. He was looking on the front foot to flick through mid wicket, and get a leading edge. So, but a good little innings there here by Ezekiel so far. So, DCC will now look to revisit the target maybe of just getting over 100.
They need to bat
And
out
Osaf is
32.
in the air once again, out to long off, gets a single, and the score moves to 69. 69 for 7.
I love the way
69 for 6.
I love the way you call the score 69 for 7. Well done, Mr. Messiah. 69 for
69
7.
for 7. I think John is in love with that score.
It looks good. It looks good on the scoreboard.
It's good on the scoreboard. Yes.
DCC will love to add more to that, maybe double that. But the reality is, 6 wickets down. 6 wickets down.
So
You'll
this is
need
the
to
20th over.
in the 20th over. Need
No,
to,
the 21st bowling, sorry.
well, it started here, so
Yes, it's 21st.
21st over has been bowled. So far, got on 1 wicket and Prasad at the other end 2 wickets.
So this
Bowling
is
very tight indeed.
the new batsman is Muniram Singh. Stroking as far as delivery out to Juggernaut. No run. So Muniram Singh in a kind of open stance has got over the wicket to Singh. A flighted one is driving past the bowler on his left and going out to long off for a single. The batsman gets a single at the end, and the score moves on to 70 now. 70 for 6 in over number 21.
So Gautam is now in his 6th over. And 7th. And 5 overs bowled by Tamesh Prasad. So Prasad has 3 and Gautam 1. So they're really bowling well in
Hit and
partnership.
stump, is he? Not out, says the umpire. Bell ball flighting, and Osafa going hard but miss. But his foot is anchored in the crease.
That's a perfect
Gautam
leg
is causing a lot of trouble here.
perfect delivery from a leg spinner, pitching, good flight as well, pitching and moving away, beating the bat out of the off stump. Keeper taking off the bails. That's what you love to see from the leg spinner.
Yes, and he has a short third man at point cover, mid off, mid on, man at mid wicket, man at deep mid wicket. Got over the wicket past umpire Josiah bows to Safwan is missing, taken behind. So that brings up the end of over number 21 and DCC 70 for 6.
Not a good over bowled once again by Gautam. Continues to land in good areas, asking questions of the batsmen and forcing some shots. Could have very well had one of the batsmen stumped there, but the batsman was way deep in his crease trying to play the leg spin. And it's good to show that these young spinners having control and they can really land in good areas. Pitch certainly helping them as well. It's a dry pitch. Rain yesterday did not affect it at all. It was covered, and when it opened, there's that seepage in the middle of it. So it's a good pitch as well. And the batsmen have to work for their runs, and as a result of that, it's low scoring so far.
Yes, it's typical Everest wicket where the spinners operate a lot, and Prasad is in and bows to looking for a cheeky single. The return comes in, and the batsman has to get back there. Muniram looking for a single is not there. So John, you have any family or relatives in the States you want to say hi to?
It will take the rest of the broadcast because we all in Guyana, we all have friends and family in the United States.
Yes.
So I'd rather say good afternoon to all of you listening and following the stream.
Wonderful. Bowls to Muniram is back in defense. I want to say thanks, not really any, but thanks to John because it's his idea and initiative of getting the stream going for this cricket. So John, thank you for doing this for the local guys here in Guyana.
Certainly a pleasure indeed to be partnering to have it done at this level, and more to come. This is not the start, nor it will not be the end either. So it's going to be the start of things to come. We love to have more of the GCA cricket, of course,
And
exposed to the wider world.
Osafa beaten there in flight, Passad operating, bowling beautifully from the top end. Here he comes in and bowls to Green, and he's driving out to the mid-on area. The man fields, no run, and that is the 22nd over. The end at over number 22. The score is 71 for 6. So
it also means the end of our stint.
yes,
It's going to be another double change, and Dever will join Clyde Butts, and they will take it to the end of this DCC innings. But the way things are set up nicely here now, Tri-State, they're controlling things. DCC need to work hard for their runs. The lower order batsmen, once they can bat out the rest of the remaining overs, they can push for a score just over 100 and hope that their bowlers can get them back into the game. Good afternoon once again, Sean.
Well, good afternoon to you, John. Good afternoon to listeners wherever you are across Guyana, wherever you are watching and listening to the stream in North America. It's sweltering heat here in Georgetown, and I understand it's very cold in North America, especially Canada. So we say good afternoon to you once more. Game starting 3 hours and 40 minutes late due to a wet patch in the middle of the pitch, and the ground staff, excellent work. Couldn't really prevent it. It was a last-minute switch from GCC to here, and the excellent work by the ground staff. They employed a big heavy roller. Here is Ravindran bowls, and that's on the line of the off stump. No, that's not Ravindran. That's a new bowler. So we'll Adil Shifkunan. Adil on his way, bowling right arm leg spin, and that's hit over the top, out towards the long off position, and the batsmen hustle back for 2. So 2 more runs to the total, which goes up now to 73 for the loss of 6 wickets. They were at one stage 45 for 1. And wickets just stumbled. This is a nice righted ball. He's gone. Stumped. Ran completely past the leg break. And very well bowled. Very good flight. And he's gone. So 7 wickets down now. 73 for the loss of 7. Good afternoon to you once again, Clyde Godfrey Butts.
Good afternoon to you, Sean. Certainly that was a delivery. Given generous flight. It was outside the off stump. He was coming forward, looking to probably work it up to long off region. It spun past the bat, and the keeper had very little to do other than to take off the bails. It was that slow, and he couldn't get back. So well bowled by the leg spinner. And we see 2 leg spinners in this game. You don't normally see a lot of leg spinners at this level. But we've seen the second leg spinner. He looks a little slower than the first one, but that delivery did turn and beat the batsman.
So Adel picking up his first wicket. Ravindran has 1. Passad has 3. And Powell has 1. And 1 was run out. Brilliant fielding there. Direct hit to run out Campbell just when he was looking good on 20. So let's run through the scorecard for you. Jai Karan was caught off the bowling of Powell for 4, 21 for 1. Campbell was run out, a direct hit. He went for 20 with 3 fours. It was then 45 for 2. And then Pamal missed the sweep, was leg before to the leg spinner Ravindran. He was on 4, 58 for 3. Nanan was LBW to Passad, 63 for 4. Giddens was LBW Passad. The very next ball, he was on a hat trick. Passad fell for North. Giddens was 63 for 5, and then 68 for 6. This is short and hammered away out straight to the fielder, but he's a little deep, just inside the 30-yard circle, and the batsmen get a single. So the total now going up now to 74, and the last batsman being out, Ram Singh, stump, completely mesmerized, befuddled by that ball, and he was stumped at 73 for 7.
Well, I think the DCC batsman may have to try and take some chances. I know we think that there's a lot of overs still to come, but the bowling has been on top for what, some 12 or so overs, and the batsman just seems to be content and just trying to work things. I think they've got to try and play some shots.
That's a lovely shot. It's exactly what the doctor and Mr. Boss ordered, and it's back past the bowler with a flat bat, horizontal bat shot down the ground for 4.
I think it's okay to just be batting and batting, but wickets are tumbling, runs are not scoring. You've got to try and change things a little. I think that last shot shows what needs to be done. You need to be slightly positive. You need to be able to score, or just upset things a little, offset the feeling side a little. They've had things their own way in the past 12 or 13 overs or so. So I think the DCC batsman has to try and change that.
So 78 for the loss of 7, 23 overs gone. We've got 9 overs left, and if there's no wide or no ball, we've got not much overs to go, not much runs on the board, and a few more wickets than they would have liked to be lost. So DCC at this point just maybe on the back foot. This is a ball that's pushed uppishly but safely out towards extra cover, and another direct hit, and this time the umpire's finger stays down. Well, he made the right decision in the last run out, but according to Mr. Butts, he was in the wrong position. Didn't really see.
Well, I'm not sure. I didn't say he didn't see. I just think that the position he was in was difficult for him to see. But obviously, I think he made the right decision.
Yes.
And put in the batsman out. But I was just wondering whether he was in the best position to see it.
Always the diplomat, Clyde Butts. Maybe I'd learned that from when he was a West Indies selector.
I probably learned that from you.
More diplomatic then.
Learned that from you.
So the left arm spinner is in, bowls, and that's slug swept away out towards the boundary, and that's gone for 4 over the mid-wicket position, and a couple of bounces into the boundary. So pugnacious shot there from the batsman. That's Usafo Green. So he now goes with that boundary to, let's wait on the scoreboard, 12 he goes to, 83. That's correct, 83 for the loss of 7. 12 to Green. Batting in a blue cap, blue helmet. Ball that's tugged away out towards long on, and they get a single. Explore the possibility of a second, but no, said Green, almost like a policeman on the middle of Regent Street on a busy working day. Put the hand up and stopped the batsman from coming back. Here is ball that's on the line of the leg stump again, clipped into the onside, and the new batsman, Paris seems to want to run every time he touches the ball. This is a ball that's on the line of the off stump again. This time it's a run, and this time they settle for 1. So Paris gets a single, total going now to 85. 85 for 7. We're in the 23rd over. Loose shot, just cutting too close and missing. No damage done. The end of the over, so 23 overs gone. It's 85 for the loss of 7.
Yeah, I think we see the intent of the two batsmen out there now, looking to try and push the score along, try and pick up some runs instead of just being out there to try and block and push around the delivery. I think at times when things are not going your way, you need to take a few chances. It's nice to say bat out the overs, but if you're not scoring, wickets are going to fall. And I think these two out there now are just beginning to put a little bit of pressure on the field inside. We've seen the changes in the field, fielders going back to long on, long off, covering the boundary at deep mid-wicket. So I think it's good to see that little bit of a difference in terms of the approach by the DCC batsman.
Adele bowling into a strong Atlantic Ocean breeze, bowls wide of the mark, and it's so wide that the umpire signals a wide, almost like a scarecrow on a farm, standing with his arms outstretched. That's a good delivery. A loose shot though, he didn't move close to the ball, just stood there and had a drive at it.
Well, he was trying to hit it over the onside. And I think the thing is, and I spoke about this earlier on, he didn't move his feet a lot. He tried to, he's bowling very slow. And if the ball is bowling so slow, you can easily get them on the full. But he's just
And
stepping one step out. And he's a tall man,
Yeah.
so he's got the reach.
And that's one whacked away out towards the mid-on position. Long on comes off the boundary. That's almost like a T20 shot. Just waded into it and hit it couple of bounces out towards long on. And the total now going up to 87. 87 for 7. Adele bowls and that's gone. That's gone for 6. Nice shot. Is that the first 6 of the match? Yes, the first 6. And even if this ground was a little bigger, it would have still gone for 6. Bounced off the fence and rebounded back into the park. So 6 runs takes the total now to 93. 93 for 7. Good positive shot there. This is another shot that's almost in the ground and gone, caught. Just outside the view of our commentary box, and he was caught on the long on boundary. Going to repeat the shot, didn't get as much power into it as the previous shot, and held out to long on. So after hitting a 6, he's gone, that's green. He's gone for 19, gone for 19, 93 for the loss of 8 wickets now, Clyde Butts.
I think Green would be fairly happy with himself there because I think what he did is try and change things a little. And if you look at the score tells its own story. He scored 19 and he was positive in the middle. Whereas before we were seeing batsmen just coming forward intent and just blocking out the deliveries. He was positive and he got 19. So I think that's pushed the DCC score just a little bit more, giving them I think a little bit more of a cushion. I think whilst he was there, it looked like if they were going to get 100, 120 or thereabouts. I will just have to wait and see what the other batsmen could do now.
Yeah, so at a venue which hosted its first class match in 1997. In fact, one of 3 first class grounds in Georgetown. Border, you would have known. Which is the other one? In Georgetown.
First class ground.
Yeah. The ground hosted a single first class match in 1987.
I mean, I would have been playing cricket then, and I can't remember playing any other first class ground. First class match away
From Border
from
and here.
Border. I didn't play at Everest, a first class game at Everest actually. So
But these 2 are first class venues. There's one other in Georgetown. And Georgetown extends up to Cummins Lodge and Agricola. So
you got me beat.
GDF ground. It was an inter-county final in 1987, which was deemed first class.
Well, yes, you got me. You got me, and I'm sure I may have played in that game. I'm not absolutely sure, but yes, in the 80s, going backwards, inter-county cricket was known as first class cricket. I think that stopped
up
around
to 1990.
in 1990. So, you know, and
So the new batsman is Pinder.
when you said first class, I was actually thinking that you were
Regional.
speaking about regional cricket.
Yeah. That's why it got you stumped.
You never got me in when you were bowling, so.
No. in comes Adele, and that struck down the ground, and they get a single. So it's 93 now for 8.
And don't tell me about the 6 you actually hit me, you know. Because that's your only claim to fame with
Yeah,
a
my
bat.
only first Division 6 was hit off of Clyde Godfrey Watts, former West Indies test off spinner.
Yeah. And the bad thing about that, you've only bowled 1 delivery to me in your career, and they never found the ball back.
Yes, because
Can you
my
remember that?
Captain Carl Armstrong told me to flight the ball, which I did, obeying instructions. I was a youngster at that time, so I had to flight the ball, and Mr. Butts hit me over the Maltino's roof into Cosmos, which is now GMRC.
And the ball was never found. In those days, GMRC wasn't there at the time,
No,
so it was a little bit of a
Cosmos.
bush.
Anyway, a lot of the embarrassing stuff out of the way now, so it's back to the cricket.
It is embarrassing for Sean Devers to hit you for a six, definitely so.
So, who's the new bowler?
That's Sipasad.
Yeah, Andre Sipasad, former Guyana under-17 player, playing as guest player for the New York Tri-State team. Left arm spin. No, Sipasad bowls off spin. Yes. 4 more. Sipasad is on his way, bowls, and that's a good delivery. Turned away from the left-hander, Pinder. And he's yet to score. 94 for 8. We're in over number 26. Sipasad is in, bowls, nice flight on the line of the leg stump and pushed away out towards the mid-on position. Return comes into the bowlers and missed the woodwork. Well backed up there by the man at mid-off. And just the single. So 95 now.
Well, it looks like DCC is going to get past that 100 mark. And maybe even with their second string bowling attack, they could give the touring team some trouble.
Yeah.
Because the pitch it hasn't got any sort of great pace. It has dried out nicely as well.
Nice aggressive shot, but back towards the bowler. And he doesn't feel cleanly. Deflects the ball down towards mid-on. The fielder from short mid-wicket going back to do the work. And in the meantime, the batsman jock-trot a single. Good rotation in the strike, brings the left-hander back into strike now. Here is Sipasad. Good delivery, bowled him. The arm ball didn't spin, came back into the left-hander and went right through the gate, hit the off stump, and clean bowled. So he's gone now for 2. And more trouble for DCC. They're in a spot of bother. They're more than in a spot of bother. They're in a deep hole. They're now 96 for the loss of 9.
It was a flatter delivery. It was slightly quicker. He was going back when he should have been on the front foot, and he was trying to work it on the onside as well when he probably should have been looking at to play it up to mid-off or straight back to the bowler. And he was bowled off stump. So good delivery. And the thing is that DCC is tumbling, and the touring side would not be needed to bowl that in terms of bowling their seamers, because they're supposed to bowl 13 overs of seam, and maybe the seamers would have been easier to score off on this pitch, but because wickets are falling so quickly, they don't have to bowl, probably won't have to bowl the rest of overs in terms of seam. And the penalty for not bowling those overs actually is very high.
Yeah,
because it's 10 runs per over.
Each over that a seamer does not bowl.
Yeah, that's
really
very high, very, very high. But you know, when we make these rules and we're not playing, that's what happens. Yeah? I think we have to get back Mr. Messiah when he's here to explain that. He's not bowling, so he can put those sort of rules in. Yeah? Or he's not captaining a team out in the middle.
So Everest, which was originally in Queenstown in 1914, a guy by the name of John Ramaswamy founded the club. Ball, that's again an arm ball, not turning. This one to the right-hander. And Percival is completely beaten. Nice flight, and Percival is forward, more batsman-like. He's at number 11 batsman, and pushes it into the offside. So 9 wickets down. There are 96 runs.
Certainly not taken after his father. He doesn't look good with the bat at all, does he?
His
father and more batsman who could have bowled, but he's more bowler, and it doesn't look like he can bat.
Well, I wonder if his father is here, former West Indies under-19 captain, and he always seemed to do well against Barbados at the senior level. He's got about 3 half-centuries against Barbados. If you pick him up in the middle of his sleep, he'll get a half-century against Barbados.
And the thing about Andre Porce, he was a fighter. He was a very good cricketer. He never say die. He always comes out and wants to fight. In the field, he was a very good fielder, and he bowled those tricky little long ups off breaks, I used to call them, and getting the ball to keep low at you. And always gets a few wickets as well.
So Adel continues from the commentary box end. Nice drive by Paris. And back to the bowl, and there's no run. So 96 for 9. Can they get 4 more to get the 3-figure score? This is a good delivery, pitched and spun, and completely befuddled the batsman as he pushed forward, taken by the keeper.
Yeah, good delivery, given a generous flight. Pitched and spun away from the batsman.
And a good catch. Diving forward at short extra cover, had to make a big stride and then dived and claim the catch. There's some discussion if it was a bomb ball, but I'm sure it was not a bomb ball. Paris looking towards the umpire and then walks off. So it's all over. They haven't gotten 100.
Yeah, and I just wonder what the batsman was thinking there, because he seems to think that he wasn't out. Whether he was thinking that was a bomb ball or not, but he hit that straight to the man at extra cover. He dived to his right and slightly forward as well, and took a very good catch. And you could see that he took it cleanly as well. There wasn't any question about whether it was pitched in front of him. I think he took it very cleanly, and he was out. So DCC, I think, wouldn't be happy with the sort of score they have gotten, but that's already on the board, and they've got to now come and try and defend that score.
So 96 all out in 26.3 overs. The game, you would remember, reduced to 32 overs per side, starting at 10 minutes past 1, scheduled for a 9:30 start. Let's go through the scorecard. Brandon Jaikaran was removed by Pomal for 4, 21 for 1, and then Jaden Campbell, who was run out by a direct hit, he made 20 with 3 fours. It was 45 for 2. So at 45 for 1, before Campbell was run out, they slipped to 96 for 9, with only Wilson making 22. And towards the end of the innings, Osafa Green, who was caught at long on to give Adel the first of his 3 wickets, he made 19. At that stage, it was 93 for 8, and then all out for 96 off of 26.3 overs. So we'll get the bowling figures in a short while.
And again, Sean, it shows